Eichenwalde, ready for battle.
Okay. Are we live? Okay. So you can pause it. Or actually, you can just let it run until 30. So, I'm gonna start this VOD review of this first VOD review off by quoting Dr. Phil. And the quote is, "You cannot change what you don't acknowledge." And that goes for me as well. You have to realize what's wrong before you can correct it, and you have to realize that you did something wrong before you're willing to change it. Hopefully. So let's see what you guys do here. Eichenwalde was a bad map for you. They had a pretty good Widow. She's going to start off on Sombra, it seems. So you really struggle to deal with her. And maybe I'm not here sitting with any with the answer to the situation, but maybe I can provide my view of the situation. So let's see how you guys try to deal with it. And let's try to make this VOD review in a way that you explain what your plan is, and then we see how it works out, and then we find out what went wrong.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep, let's go.
So try to get more of an overhead view here.
Defend objective A.
Oh. Pepega. What? Okay.
Right. So right here I made the call to play up front and aggressive. We did not acknowledge that they had a Sombra.
Just leave the camera.
So we were planning on making a push right about now.
Okay. There's the Zarya.
Here our comms got a bit muddled up. I was calling to continue playing around choke, where most people went over back payload. So I ended up moving up with them rather than arguing with the comms.
Oh my god.
Gale de Mahol. Gale de Mahol.
Helden sterben nicht.
Objective lost.
Alright, so let's run that back again. So what do you reckon was the mistake here? Like what started this? All the way back. Even further. Even further. Okay, here we go. So, zoom in on the choke.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
No.
Defend objective A.
No, just overhead. And then go to the left so you see. Oh. Okay, that's a bit far back, but okay,
Do
fine.
you want a spectator view of reference?
No. Okay, so you just tell me whenever you see something going wrong.
So right here.
Right there?
Yep.
That's where it went wrong?
So this is where the call out started to get mixed up. So we had me obviously sitting over here at the front. Everyone else was beginning to rotate around on the point. I was making the call to keep playing choke, whereas they were all going up the point, which I didn't realize at the time. So, because I didn't realize that most of them had pushed onto here, because there were no calls being made about the location of the majority of the team. So I believed they were making a push with their Rhine up front. When I realized this, I moved around to the rest of the team, but by that point, we're already out of one man, down disadvantage.
You're already 2 down. Go back even further. Oh, okay, that's a little bit much, but fine. Okay, leave it there. That's good. This is fine. What's this? May goes off the wall, probably. Alright, look, here, stop it. The call was made to hook Zarya. way before the hook even landed. She got hooked in, dropped to half HP, shielded out of all types of healing. She's not dead. That's bad. Where's your Mei right now?
Right here.
Yeah. Where's the rest of your team?
Got these two in the top of it. I'm there.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so what's gonna happen to the Mei here?
She's gone alone.
She's gonna get
she uses
fucked.
Her ice, yep, and then gets destroyed.
So you're already down a man.
Mm-hmm.
The Mei's playing 2 aggro, right? She had a good position earlier, and now she's way out of position. And even before you guys miscommunicate the whole hook and the hog fucks off the point, you're already a man down. Your Mei's already dead because she's way out of position. So she's trying to get value here. If the Mei was with the hog when he hooked the Zarya, she probably would have been dead. She would have gotten frozen, dead.
Let me watch that part of the Zarya. Over.
Yep. So here, they're gonna push through. He's gonna fall back. Right about now, he's gonna call to hook the Zarya, I believe. So he's going back, waiting for the barrier. Here comes the hook. Where's the Mei? Flanking the Rhine. Why is she behind the shield? To get the angle on the freeze?
Don't know.
Probably, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably, right? So she's walled off the rest of their team right now.
May POV real quick to see how
No.
big ended up.
Okay. Okay, let's see it. I know what I'm gonna see, but so right here, he's planning to wall off the choke, which is fine. He does not need to go as aggressive as he does here. He can literally wall it off from where he is. Alright, there's the wall. Now they're gonna push. So he goes in here for some odd reason, trying to flank. Here's another wall. This is fine. He sees the hook onto Zarya. Why doesn't he run up and or at least fuck off back to point? He runs back up and decides to ice block. If he would have just gone back to point, this would have been fine. You guys could have played from point. But the Mei decides to suicide. You're already down 1.
Yep.
And you don't have a mercy. And they have spawn advantage.
No, I think our Mei is the first one to go down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then the McCree. So they got a pick, but it's countered.
Right here's where the comms end up getting bundled up. We have
Yeah.
me and some of the front. Then it takes longer.
Your Roadhog goes to contest. You could have just gone point, pulled in the Mercy, hooked her, killed her. They just run past you. And here it's already fucked. You guys are falling apart. They're just rushing you down, but you shouldn't win this. Nope.
Helden sterben nicht.
But maybe you're switching. I don't know.
Then we end up getting.
Objective
I hope you're switching. Maybe you get him on or something.
the payload.
So here I was making a call for everyone to fall back.
Yeah, well, you have to fall back. This is another situation where your Mei's too aggro. And she's dead, and that's a free push. They're gonna get the first 2 corners for free.
So at this point here, for me,
Yeah.
all the way back there, I think it was both myself and Doc were calling to just hold back, don't give them any opportunities. And I'm pretty sure we stick to it and none of us pushing.
My will made real.
So, I remember you guys calling out for the EMP here. Or was it the grab? No, it was EMP.
Grab call.
So you're saying to split out. And you're kind of doing it, but only your Baptiste really needs to get out of it. But here I call. So you can pause it. So you know they have EMP. And if this Sombra is smart, you're not going to get EMP'd right now or before this, right? Because the cart's all the way over there under the bridge. You're all the way back here. Even if she lands an EMP on you, her team's too far away to take advantage of it. So you're not afraid of the EMP right now. But in 10 seconds, when the cart's pushed up to the corner, that's when the EMP is going to come. You can predict this. You've already tossed your lantern out for some odd reason, even though the EMP calls come in. So you don't have a Baptiste who can stand outside of here, wait for the EMP to come, and just throw his lamp in to save you guys, which is unfortunate. So keep playing it.
I just want to acknowledge that our May again is.
Yep. Not playing with the team. It's good that you see this. So now she's coming back, which is good. But look, here's the EMP.
So right there, I also want to take a moment to say I stuttered actually with that EMP. I was about to call it out. Stuttered and then...
I even said it in chat. Yeah. I said EMP. Like 2 seconds before it happened, because I realized that once that card comes to the corner, here comes the EMP. So if the bat, maybe if he was high ground left, just sitting where he is right now, throw his immortality field in to the ground. Okay, here's a cleanup ult, it seems. What's this?
We have used that though position there.
Let's see. Play it. Go back 20 seconds. Okay. EMP calls being made. You don't know the Sombra's there, but you know she's coming in. I was expecting to see a translocator, but there was no translocator. So here the Bat can jump high ground here. There's no reason for him to be low ground. Yeah. He can jump high ground, play where he played earlier. And he does, but he could have done it right now. They're going to Amp Matrix, so you guys are afraid of their damage. So they're Amp Matrixing preemptively for the EMP.
Yeah, we also made a call for McCree to attempt just to hold the flashbang for EMP as a...
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, at least to kill the Sombra, maybe. So here they go aggro, usually expect EMP, and look at this, Baptiste is in the right position.
Yep.
He's doing a good job healing. Unfortunately, he does not have Immortality Field yet. It looks like it's fine, but if he wouldn't have used it earlier... Look, there's the Immortality Field. It actually saves the Orisa, I believe. And here's an Amp Matrix after 2 people died. Not necessary. Like, your team is almost full HP, the Hog's half, but he can heal himself.
Might have been better to May down on point as well.
Ah, well. I mean, he can dish out the healing. But yes, definitely another cold for ult there. But that's like... It's a minor mistake, yes, but... He'll get his ult fast, I believe.
I know Dog used that ult then to stall.
So here, look at this, play it back. So this was what was frustrating me. Frustrating, I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but annoying me. So, you managed to stay alive during this fight. Look at who you guys are focusing. The Mei is actually trying to get the support, but she has to go very aggro for it. Look at the Hog right here. Look at the Hog. Who's he look at? Look at the Mercy dude.
Yeah.
Look at the Mercy dude.
There's a res, I'm pretty sure as well, for this area there. No, I make this here call.
And now, look at the supports, dude. Who's he focusing? Looking at the Reinhardt still. There's a Moira ulting him, and a Mercy hiding right to his right. I'm calling. Fucking kill the supports. I don't mean to be aggressive here. I'm just saying. And here, you guys turn. You turn. This is good. This is good.
Hi there. I feel like when he was going after the Rhine, then that was good for about 2 seconds to push the shatter back, then do a 180 down over to the supports and start pushing them into the wall.
That's a good point. But still, like, early, he got the kill on the Zarya, but it would have been way easier to just kill the Mercy first.
So like here.
But these are like minor mistakes. But no one else is focusing the Mercy either. She's literally just standing there.
So I'd say once we see it happen. It's right here. 1, 2, and then about there because of where the Mei wall is.
But was this planned? No, did he know he was shattering?
I don't think that was planned, because if you watch really closely, he actually starts the ult up before the shatter.
Okay, because if he realized that he was going to shatter and he did this, that was really, really good. I did not realize that he was actually shattering. So maybe it wasn't that bad, but still, you know, the focus isn't there. It's probably just lucky, but...
So here I start calling out to go after that Mercy.
Yep, this is cleanup, so this isn't interesting. Like, the BAP is in a really good spot. I really like BAP's spot. He played this very well. you guys also stayed alive. The Mei played a little bit aggro, but you know, she wasn't in too much danger because she had her ice block, and there were only 2 supports and Orion, and you guys were kind of cleaning up anyways. It's a good pick on the Bastion, so you know they have a Bastion now. So you try to call that out, you know, save this and that for Bastion maybe. Oop.
And again, our
So you realize now that they're going to go aggro on you. So you need to do something. You're calling out that you're going to bungo, but when's the bungo coming?
Comes out right about now.
Cease your resistance.
There you go. Here comes the McCree. Actually gets the pick on the Tracer. Really good. This is fine. No more ults now. So here you start talking again, right?
Yep.
This is when you talk, I hope.
Yeah, we were.
You say, okay, look, this is what we have, right? This is what we have. We have McCree ult. That we can zone them out with McCree. They don't have anything to pressure your McCree. You don't know that. They just switched, but they didn't have anything to pressure your McCree. So if you just ult and you stand in front of him and body block and shield and stuff, you can zone them out of the entire point for 5 seconds or kill them. Here's a good time for a Blizzard, perhaps. Okay. Good, you forced the Zarya out. She's dead. Nope, she just drops. She's still alive. You call. I believe you're calling it.
See, I'm calling, thinking there's Zarya has a graph here, because I actually didn't notice when she graphed back over here earlier, because it was behind me in like the midst of the plan.
And this is cleanup. So it was a good Blizzard. And it forced the Zarya out. She should have been executed upon way earlier, but the McCree popped off and got some good kills by the tanks having to fuck off. So you created space. The Mei created space for you there. So now you're talking again, right? I'm saying you have Amp Matrix and you have to use that to try to farm up your ults and stall them out, right? So where's the Amp Matrix? Should be out already. Just to break the shield. Where did that Mei die? Can you play it back? Probably high ground, right?
Probably. Yep, there.
She's inside there. What the f... Don't tell me she chases the Doomfist.
Starts off in here.
Okay, so this is the cleanup. You guys are done with the fight. You guys are just waiting. So she's trying to wall it off. Okay. Guess it's just annoying. Wall and cooldown. Doesn't have a long cooldown though. So here. Don't do this. This is when you fuck off. Ooh, you actually get it. Ooh, okay, that's unfortunate. You were a bit too far away from your team. You got a pick, that was good, but that was an unfortunate headshot. The way that was good. So here's where the problem starts, right? But go back and look at it from the team's perspective again. So I've already called use your Amp Matrix to break the shield, right? There's no Amp Matrix. It's the only ult you have, and they don't have any ults, so you might have won the fight just right off of that. Oh, the BAP did. Jesus, the headshot. Okay, so the fight's probably lost at this point. Don't whole hog here. Commit to point, probably, and just die. And then recontest. Probably the best idea. You can play it fast forward, like, we don't need to see this. Or like, normal speed. So just commit to point. The cart's still moving. You guys aren't stalling the cart. You're literally fighting off point. Just letting it move. Basically staggering yourself right now. Committing ults as well. You actually got to kill them. Okay, this is good. This is a one fight. No more ults. Your team's back. And the Mercy's the last person to die. Almost. Okay. So the Widow's sneaky here. Oh.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Get into position.
So, you don't have any. If you pause it.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, there.
So you don't have any mobility, right?
Yep.
You have a very slow comp. The only person who has some sort of mobility is your Baptiste. He can jump, obviously American shift and stuff. But to get high ground, you don't have a Diva, you don't have a Winston, you don't have a Junkrat, not a Pharah, nothing like that, right? So in order to deal with this Widow, you have to rely on your hold hook. For right now, at least. So if you keep playing it,
seconds remaining.
Right here, we should have been back up again. And there's a call made for it as well to play for.
Reinhardt could have been collapsed.
I think initially I'm finding it's just there's a lot of tunnel visioning from the Mei.
Yeah, I know. She's off on the off angle. But she's actually trying to hold the high ground though, which is a good idea. She can just drop, but she should have played more passive. So here's this fight's lost already.
How their fight played out.
My will.
So they have a lot of ults. You guys have a lot of ults. So this might be a really good time to just yeet your Blizzard in and to freeze the Rhine in the off position that he's in. Because he was stacked up there in the corner and his team wasn't there yet. So you decide to bongo. You get rushed down, you get shattered, massive shatter. And that's about the end of that.
10 seconds remaining.
What could have happened there if the Mei played a little bit more defensively, she could have walled off the choke once the Rhine rushed in. Maybe you could have gotten something out of that. You could have used some of your ults a bit earlier. Like, you're waiting for them to make their first move. You're waiting for them to make the first move and you're getting pissed on because of it. So here, nothing to do really. You don't have the spawns to contest this. You're a bit indecisive about it as well. So this is the time to just fuck all the way off. Don't get staggered anymore. Don't give the first corner here. You decide to take the fight in a way. Okay, so the call's being made to fuck off, I think. So what are you thinking right now? You can pause it. So you're coming up on full team.
Yep, so here I made that swap on the Rhine. I no longer have my ult up. I used the last fight, so to contest their Rhine, I decided to take Rhine. I can try and get up my own shatter. I'm making the call for Doc to make, so when he dies, to make a swap on the Zarya, which I don't think we ended up following through on. But that's fine. He builds his ult up pretty quickly this here fight. Mei's aggressive. And don't know what's going on over here. We're all a bit spread out, actually. We probably should have all come back. We've got time to contest. It's the hardest point for them to push anyway.
So when I said fuck off, I meant fuck off all the way to almost where McCree is. Because you can still get picked here. They have a Widow. They want this angle. Especially since you wasted time swapping to Rhine as well. You have 2 ults. You might need to rely on them to stall this out to farm your other ults. Like, you have to think about it as an economy game. You can use ult to gain ults. Use ults to win fights where you farm the other ults. You have an amp matrix. It's great for this this line of sight. If you group on McCree-ish and you play around that pillar with amp matrix, you can maybe get a pick or two, or you force you play up and you take the other corner, so you play the close angle on Widow, so she can't shoot you. So just get the long angle. McCree has ult, he can zone with that if he gets resources. The only thing he's scared of is the Widow. You can shield the Widow. And by him high nooning and you shielding him while he's high nooning, they have to fuck off and hide, or they have to take the fight instantly. So you can gain possession by doing that, and then you can amp matrix up, for example, and win the fight. They only have Widow ult, so you don't know that though. So just keep playing it, see what you do. Fat rip. Mei was off again. So you play the corner, right? You've already lost the other. Okay, that's a decent amp matrix. Look at this amp matrix. Look at how they fuck off. Yeah, McCree ulted, no value. Maybe zone.
Spread out.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Nice try on the BAP immortality. So here, you might want to reset for one last fight. But instead we're staggering, it seems. That's an unfortunate hook on the Widow, I remember seeing that.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Big shatter. But look now at the Roadhog.
10 seconds remaining. Overtime.
Look at this POV.
Who's?
Roadhog. During that last 20 seconds.
10 seconds.
Look here.
My will.
So that's a failed hook, unfortunate. It's a bit. So here,
10 seconds.
tries to hook him, doesn't work. Could have had the hook for the Mercy there, and he just dies.
Overtime.
Target focus. That's trying to stall, that's good. Unfortunate.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Complete.
So this is where it really starts though.
0.
This attack. Your A attack's pretty decent. Your B is completely shit.
Initiating the match.
Mostly due to pressure and space.
Together, we are strong.
After the crisis, it is overdue for a new test.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
We all have our jobs to do.
This is gonna be a long one review. I'll try to shut the fuck up. Alright, you can go ahead and explain whatever you need to explain here.
Trying to remember what the plan was. The plan, from what I recall, was to aggressively play through this direction here. Now, I make a mistake very early on in the fight where instead of just focusing on their Rhine and pressuring him, I instead, after getting the bubble, see the turret and completely forgetting what my, role in team is, I run to the turret and just destroy it for going back to the fight. We make up for it anyway, but then due to other issues we lose the fight despite what happens. Like, I'll show it from my POV at the very beginning here and you'll see what I mean.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective
So I also did that follow the script
No, this. Yeah. It's fine because they fucked off. Here's the Mercy's out of position. Didn't get punished. She's gonna fly back now. She.
Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
I think she's dead. Widow's still shooting, I believe. No, you're gonna win this fight, but it just takes a long time.
Issue. There's something I noticed while I was dead. You're watching the Genji here. They're capping point. Doom's already gone in there.
They're not capping anymore.
Yep. So I noticed that while I was
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
So now they're starting to come back, right? So when you see it from above, you do agree that it looks kind of messy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you have a plan, but everyone's confused about it because people aren't, like, some people aren't following through, and maybe they feel like they didn't understand the plan, and then they just do their own thing. Yeah, that was definitely a one fight, and it was thrown away. Let's see here then. This is better. Creating pressure, you're creating pressure, you're creating space. Good. Mercy should die. She's out of position. Call's being made. Good follow-up. Everyone turned on her.
Don't think we win this one though now. This is fun.
Isn't this the one you win?
Is it? Might be.
I think so.
No?
No. Or maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Objective lost.
So you created a lot of space there on your Rhine. It was really good in the beginning. Then you got a little bit distracted by the Mercy flying through you, and you started playing like a DPS instead of like a tank.
Yeah.
You started not thinking about space, but it paid out. It paid off because you got the Rhine and you got that other kill and whatever.
Right here, the reason I admit the call for
Yeah.
me and Doc to push up. I didn't realize it wasn't with me. That was my bad. But it's fine.
Okay, but it wasn't the problem. The problem right now is the high ground that they have with the Junkrat and the Widow.
Yeah, this is where we really started to struggle. So so I was not paying attention here to the kill cam. So I keep
being
on pushing
flanked.
up, I keep linking up, got the entire team with me, and I
Dein
realized
Schutzengel ist
I like
da.
pick up
So you got Grav, you got Blade. They got no defensive ults that can counter a Grav and a Blade. Or a Shat. Like, they have nothing to counter a Grav, they have nothing to counter a Blade. You have an aggressive Transcendence that you can go, not Transcendence, Coalescence you can go in with. And you make a swap.
Yeah, we make that
on
call.
Smash.
We make the call to coalesce and shatter this fight.
Yeah, but you swapped out your Blade. Here's a Junkrat just casually killing you guys. With the Widow, boosted on the high ground.
Helden sterben nicht.
Coalescence came out, Shadow actually came out as well. Caught no one, unfortunately, but at least you guys executed upon it. And here's the Grav. In spawn.
Yeah, actually, I want to see that. What happened? Because I heard Dog talking about that one.
Helden sterben nicht.
This is super slow.
Der Kampf ist... Give me another shot. Огонь по готовности!
We can ignore that, I guess. I mean, to be fair, in the quick play matches, I fat-fingered my bongo twice.
So now you've obviously made the choice that, look, we're gonna run a dive composition with a Moira on heal and Moira and a Zen. You guys are diving, not getting any picks, and you're leaving your backline completely exposed. There's your Zen. So they're running a triple DPS comp with a Reinhardt. And you're not going to outwidow this Widow, but what you... Okay, let's just watch this fight first and I'll talk later. So the Widow's dead here.
Personne
60
n'échappe à mon
seconds
regard.
remaining.
And you guys are going ham. The Widow's not being pressured, she is free-shotting.
Natural selection.
I think I did a bit of a pause.
Barrier up.
Okay, that's barrier. That's 10 seconds cooldown.
Never mind.
So the Widow's still standing in the same spot shooting.
30 seconds remaining.
So the plan now should be to force her out of that angle. So the D.Va can just flank around, doesn't need to kill her, just be annoying.
Is my will. 10 seconds remaining.
That's a pick already. So you stabilize,
Do something!
but you dive in. You go for the Widow. Widow's dead. You're still 1 up. 2 up. Good.
Appear to have lost control.
This is surely a 1 fight, right?
The payload.
So what happened there? The Widow died to what? Was it the Ashe, probably?
No.
Just headshotting her?
The Moira.
Okay.
Nerf this! Get into position. Mecha activated.
So that's a yeet bomb.
Seeing a lot of
sterben
following
nicht.
top issues as well. Because
Like I said,
I called for like a lot of follow-ups during this game, but
Gale the Mahal.
obviously there was no follow-up, so that I then fall back. Then as I'm falling back, the team push in. And
Seems
that
like-
was me being protected.
So you can pause a little. Sometimes, you ever catch yourself like saying shit that you've thought about but no one else has been thinking about, and you just like say one sentence and they're just like, what the fuck? But it makes clear sense to you because you've been thinking about it for like half an hour. And I feel like that's a whole lot of what's going on here, because sometimes you think a lot faster than you speak, or you feel like you think things that you think you. Oh, how am I going to say this without being retarded? Sometimes you think about stuff, and you feel like you've communicated it as well, but actually you've just been thinking it inside your head, and then you just say go, right? And I have no time to react as a D.Va. Instead of you giving me like, I'm gonna dive in 3 seconds. Are you ready? Yeah, 3, 2, 1, bang. Instead of just saying go. Like sometimes when you played Orisa, you just said halt, and then halt's a different thing because it's a little bit slower. But like if you gave a second or two warning, it's a lot easier to follow up on, because you can be on the same page, but humans still have reaction time. And if you give people a little bit more time to react, you make it easier on yourself and on the team.
I'm really used to that. The reason why is because I have really high reaction speed, so I would be used to just, if someone just says go, I'd like in that same moment I'd be doing it, type of thing.
But in general, just to be on the same page.
Yeah.
So this fight's probably lost. Yeah.
I feel like I
So, yeah.
should have made a swap off. I think we should have gone back to Ryan and
30
Zarya
seconds
after we
remaining.
both had used our ult. So
Okay. Probably this point's really good for Ryan. Sorry, it's a close point. So right now you're making the call that this is the last fight, right? We have to go aggro with our coolest. Here's the tracer. Yeah. You still have to go, right? So here's the coalescence. Here's the coalescence. Here's the coalescence. Where's the coalescence?
Gale the Mahal.
Double support ult. Pega.
不洗澡。
Split up, big high noon. Okay, so it was unfortunate that your Ashe died to the Tracer
Gale the
beforehand.
Mahal.
And that was a good play by the Tracer. It was a good play by the Tracer. And that's just down to mechanical skill. Like, if you guys were better players, maybe you could have reacted to it, gotten an orb on him, or like tried to call the Tracer flanking a little bit earlier. But what went wrong there, like in general, as a plan, the call was made to coalescence aggressively on the entrance. Instead, the Moira uses the coalescence at the time when we decided we were going to trance. So if you play it slowly from a high perspective, like bird's eye view. So the tracers actually, can you go back like another 20 seconds, and I can just see how the tracer fucks on up there. Yeah, just play it from bird's eye. Okay, whatever. Jesus.
Thirty seconds remaining.
The state of you. The state of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so she double blinks over, and the diva actually goes after her. And so the call should be made,
10
Don't
seconds.
and he dies to it, right?
Call being made, but that might have been made.
No, but Diva definitely saw that. But play, okay, go back. So that call should have been clear. Maybe you would have gotten out even better. But like that's a micromanagement thing. Here is the issue, right? You're saying we're going to coalescence aggro, and then we're gonna trans once the coalescence is over, and we're gonna farm up the other rolls and just fucking pop them. You almost have Boba and everything. Here's the coalescence. Here's the coalescence.
10 seconds remaining.
Here it is. You guys are diving in. Where is it? He's distracted by the tracer. That's fine. But you could have just ordered
The
in.
Mahal.
Right. So you double support ult. It's way too late.
冻住，不许走。
You're not thinking about angles. They have a lot of ults as well. It's an unfortunate fight. But just like in summation of this entire VOD review, it's execution, right?
Yep.
Like you made a call to swap onto dive tanks. What you could have done is you could have stayed with the same tanks and swapped onto like dive DPS heroes that can annoy the Widow. Either try to play Widow v Widow, stick with the Genji and just be annoying. You don't have to actually contest her. Just be annoying. You play the Doomfist, that's fine. But you have to realize that when you play dive tanks, you're leaving your backline open. If you play dive DPS, you don't necessarily leave your backline open, or like annoying DPSs like Sombra or Genji. You can still protect your Sen, because your Sen got raped by the Widow. He has nothing to hide behind. The Widow's pocketed on high ground. His tanks just fucked off from him. The only thing he has is a payload to hide behind. So you do realize how this game might have been like really, really boring and annoying for the Sen, because you forced yourself onto dive tanks to deal with the Widow and to create space. But then when you don't deal with the Widow, when you dive another target, you leave your Sen just plainly open. So those are the things you have to think about in retrospect. So the next time you choose to play dive tanks, you have to think about that. Like, we have to dive the target that's going to kill our backline. For example. And execution in general. You make the plan, just don't care about small stuff. Like, yes, the tracer was there, but at least coalescence, and maybe you can heal up your Sen a little bit. Like, you can flick back and forth in between your team and the Sen. Help him try to deal with the tracer. She has to fuck off at some point. Then you could have tranced a little bit later. Maybe you would have even tranced the Blizzard, like we said we would. And then you would have charged up your Bob. The Bob comes in. You almost have Primal, almost Doomfist ult. Maybe it would have turned out differently. Maybe. I'm not saying it would have, but maybe. So execution, and that's something we have to work on. You guys made plans, but let's try to work on just not getting distracted and being like, we're going to be passive as long as we can, but once we're not passive, we're going to be aggro. We're going to be the ones in charge. We made a plan. What's the point of making a plan if we're not going to execute it because our enemy got to execute their plan first? And that goes for attack and it goes for defense. On attack, you get to decide when the fight happens. On defense, you don't. But you can still kind of delay it, right? On defense, you don't want to take the fight before you have to, because that gives that takes away time on the clock. On attack, usually you want to get as many fights in as possible. But it's still the same tactic. On attack, it's a lot more understandable that you go very aggro and you're the ones who decide when the fight is going to be played out. But even on defense, you can pretend like you're playing passive, and then at a certain breakpoint, you just go straight in there. You have a plan, you wait, boom, we go. And when you go, it's an on and off switch. You just execute whatever you just decided. And if it's the wrong call, at least you've made the call, executed upon the call, realized it's wrong, and the next time you're in a similar situation, you can make a different call. Because right now you're making a plan, it doesn't work out because you don't execute. You execute it very poorly, and then you decide that, oh, this strategy doesn't work. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is you're not getting the full value out of the composition. So you don't even know what you're sitting with. You don't know what cards you have on your hand that you can play. But yeah, let's not make this video any longer. Okay. You guys played great today. I was really surprised compared to what I've seen earlier during quick play. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to be too harsh on you guys. This is just like I'm trying to be very critical. Yep. But at the same time, I want to say that you guys played very well today. A lot better than you played earlier, and I really liked the communications. I haven't been able to hear those during this VOD review because I'm watching it through screen share, and we're watching a replay. But you guys had great calls. You made good plans. It was a bit messy when they swapped out the widow and you had to, figure it out. But you made it work, sort of. But all in all, a great effort, and if you keep this up, we can fix a lot of things, and we can make this work.
Yes.
So execution's the big thing. Think about that. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's it for me.
Yeah, that's it for both of us then.
Yep.
Great VOD review. Well.